great honor and pleasure to welcome you to the 47th commencement exercise of Georgetown Day School and to the graduation of the class of 2018. And graduates, this is the first GDS graduation in recent memory in which you, the graduates, will be on stage for the entire graduation. It's a good view, isn't it? You, from where you sit, can see all of these people who are here for you, who love you, who believe in you, who are extraordinarily proud of you. And I want to highlight one group in particular, graduates. It's a group that is sitting right here up front. It is your teachers. Every spring, I meet with seniors in small groups over lunch, and I talk to them about what has been most meaningful about their GDS experience. And you, class of 2018, talked about your friends, talked about your classes, and the plays, and the sports teams, and the traditions. But more than anything, you expressed appreciation for your teachers. Again and again, you told me about teachers who challenged you, who engaged you, and who knew you. You spoke of being seen by the people in front of you, seen not just for who you are, but for your possibility, for who you might become. What perhaps was most striking was the breadth of teachers who made an impact upon you. You each named individual teachers, but collectively, you celebrated the impact of the entire high school faculty. Now, sadly, you won't get to take these teachers with you to college, much as you'd like to. So while you will not be able to sneak Pam Stanfield or Marjorie Brimley or Andy Lips or one of the many, many talented teachers in front of me into your carry-on bag, there are things that you will be taking with you from GDS. Not long ago, I wrote and I said, what will those things be? And I received far too many responses from your class to share today. I'm only able to share a brief sampling of what you wrote, seniors. I want to thank each of you for your really thoughtful responses. So class of 2018, what will you be taking from GDS? Izzy Verdery writes, GDS instilled in me a love and passion for learning, both for academic knowledge and for what's outside of the classroom. In theater, I learned confidence in myself and my ability to direct others, the lyrics to Beyonce's Love on Top and Africa by Toto, how to use tools, how to stay awake for 24 hours straight, and that teamwork is hard, but getting the job done is rewarding. From my classes, I learned how to write a good essay, how to determine that gravity is a constant, what a case brief is, and how to write one, how to read an absurd amount of phoner in one night, how to debate and not argue with teachers during class, and how to take the stuff I'm learning in the classroom and apply it to life. Asha Yates writes, GDS gave me the opportunity to be a leader, not just through the Peer Leaders program, but also through Fata Morgana and the Makeup Crew. Being head of both of those groups forced me to work on my volume, assertiveness, and decision-making ability. These may seem like small things, but they're actually really important, especially when they don't come naturally. Being a leader also taught me about how others learn and work, the best types of people for me to work with, and how to compromise. I feel like I've unlocked a part of me that I never knew existed. If I need to be loud and assertive, I know how to be. Had I gone to a school that didn't offer leadership opportunities, I would not have unlocked this part of myself. So for that, I thank GDS. So the good news is they can write. Seniors, it is a good set of things to be putting in your duffel bags. Confidence, curiosity, friendship, commitment, empathy, responsibility, critical thinking, a love of learning, values, insight, and more. At your graduation rehearsal, I gave you each one more thing to take with you from GDS, this book. Sapiens by Yuval Harari is subtitled A Brief History of Humankind. The author takes on the ambitious task of telling the story of 2.5 million years of human history in 400 pages. He does a pretty remarkable job, and while the topic may sound sort of wonky, the book is beautifully written and fun to read. And I was guessing that between the Caps winning the Stanley Cup and prom, you all haven't had a lot of reading time. Are we clapping for the Stanley Cup or the prom? Okay, the Stanley Cup. I'm going to be talking about that Stanley Cup at graduations for years to come. What's amazing is, as we were downstairs, a few of the seniors approached me and said, "It's a great book." So there you go, love of learning. So Harari in the book talks about 3 big shifts in human history. The first was the cognitive revolution. It was about 70,000 years ago, and this was when Homo sapiens developed the ability for large-scale cooperation. This didn't mean like a dozen people cooperating. Chimpanzees can do that. It meant thousands and eventually millions, and the way that that big-scale cooperation happened was through shared stories or myths, and it made a dramatic difference in the development of humanity. And this was followed by the agricultural revolution 12,000 years ago, when humans moved from foraging to farming, and suddenly large populations could be sustained in a single location. And then finally the third shift, the scientific revolution, which took place just 500 years ago and has already profoundly changed the world. And what's fascinating, seniors, is what sparked the scientific revolution. The engine of the scientific revolution was accepting that there were things that we didn't know, that we didn't have the answers, that there was so much for us to learn. Prior to the scientific revolution, humans assumed that we did know, that all of the answers to all of the questions could be found in the sacred texts or in traditions, and if you didn't know something, your job was to consult these texts or to find some human or wise person who was more learned than you and who would have the answer. So the scientific revolution actually wasn't about answers, it was about questions. There were a lot of things that we had accepted as truth. The earth is the center of the universe. Illness is caused by God, for example. What if these things weren't true? What other things might not be true? Accepting that we don't know was the beginning of a fuller understanding of this world in which we live. So human beings have been around for 2.5 million years, and our species of humans, Homo sapiens, 200,000 years. And yet think about what has happened in just the past several hundred years, a blink of an eye for humanity. We have split the atom, we've discovered microorganisms, we've landed on the moon, all because we have accepted that we don't know all the answers. There are so many things that we still don't know, answers to some of the biggest questions. Physicists don't know what caused the Big Bang. Biologists don't yet understand how our brains produce consciousness. Neurologists don't know why we dream. Now, I want to contrast the uncertainty around the answers to these big questions with the certainty that many humans seem to have today about their particular view of the world. We are living in a moment where more energy is invested in finding people who agree with us, who agree with what we know to be true, than is invested in listening and coming to know others with a different truth. If we engage the world, if we engage science, if we engage other people certain that we have the answers, we are powerfully limiting our ability to discover, to make leaps, to solve previously insoluble problems. So as you head off to college, seniors, I ask that in addition to your critical thinking skills and creativity and empathy, you bring with you an open mind. Not simply confident in what you know, but also profoundly curious about what you don't. An open mind means not only accepting what we don't know, but acknowledging the things that we do know could be proven wrong as we gain more knowledge, experience, and learning. This openness to new ideas and ways of seeing the world will be necessary for you to solve some of the big challenges that will face your generation. In the reflection that Levi sent me, he wrote, "I will take from GDS a mixture of cynicism and awe for the world as it is, along with a tentative optimism for the world as it can be." I understand the cynicism. As teenagers, that is your birthright. What I am grateful for is the sense of awe and the tentative optimism. These will help you stay open, curious, questioning, and will help you build a future better than the one you were inheriting, a future as good as the one you deserve. Class of 2018, as you head off to college and beyond, I am confident that you have everything you need to take with you. And I know I speak on behalf of all of your teachers when I say that we love you, we believe in you, and we are very, very proud of you.
Average superstar is singing about justice and peace and love, and I am glaring at the radio, swearing, saying that was I was afraid of. The system gives you just enough to make you think that you see change, and they will sing you right to sleep, and then they'll screw you just the same. But I will wait, yes I will wait for the truth. Oh, I will wait for the truth. Yes, I will wait for the truth. You've only got a minute before you have to go. A minute is all your life will ever allow. So roll and stay together. Do it now. Cause you'll do all the jobs no one else will do. You'll step aside and let each other through. You have all my respect. I'll leave it here when you go. Maybe I never told you. Maybe you don't know, but maybe if we wait, maybe if we wait, things will improve. Maybe we just wait, and things will improve. You know they've got to improve. I know you have to go. You have gone before. We are fighting on two different fronts of the same war, but no matter what else I will do, I will wait for you.
Over the course of your lives,
You will choose music to sing, dance, love, cry, and protest to. Each of you has already had songs that elicit memories and define moments in your lives. But we must always be cognizant that the lives we live and the paths we travel write a song that the world will hear. At GDS, hopefully, we have empowered and encouraged you so that the song of your life will be one of equity, justice, peace, and respect. Class of 2018, you are the truth, and I cannot wait to see what you do beyond the walls of GDS. You are beautiful, fierce human beings, and the world better get ready.
We're going to play Victory of Spain by this big band full of mostly seniors, and we're going to let the seniors stretch out in solo, so you get to hear the wonderful talent they've cultivated over the last 4 years.
who you actually were. And now also think about the idea that you had of yourself then. So there were like wonderful delusions of grandeur. I know I taught you. It was fantastic. There were bucketfuls of vulnerabilities. I taught you, I know. It was beautiful things. And it's actually, I think, whatever that slippage between who you actually were and the idea that you held about who you were, I think, created the friction heat that got you to here today so gloriously. And I can't think of another GDS class that has more powerfully converted that kind of slippage into heat for good. And what a class you are. Most stunning, when you saw the slip between the GDS you've lived these past 4 years and the idea that GDS kept handing you about GDS, you unflinchingly named that misalignment. And you turned that friction into real change. You sustained so many dynamic affinity and student groups, Young Men of Color, BSU, AAA, FMG, GSA, BLB, Young Women of Color, Fusion, SDLC, just to name just some of them. That was all that work. From your class came the vision for the Summit on Sexual Assault and Consent. It was this class that identified the need for and then pulled off a school-wide history lesson on racist language. When you saw slippage, when you saw things that you were experiencing and you saw that they were not aligning with the idea of those things, you took it into your own hands to turn that friction heat of dissonance into gain instead of loss. The much easier response to this dissonance between the thing and the idea of the thing would simply have been rage, simple rage. Rage feels so good. A poet that I really like, Atsuri Riley, describes rage as, quote, salts and sugars that slow crust and sharp gemify along meat string. I love that. Because isn't rage both sweet and savory? Isn't it the salts and sugars along the meat string? It so easily satisfies our softest and our sharpest hungers. But if you think of two pieces misaligning, when you set the edges on fire with rage, both pieces get so brittle, so charred that they simply disintegrate. And that's no good. Rage brings immediate pleasure, definitely. But the heat from rage alone doesn't produce change. Another response to the slippage between the thing and the idea of the thing could be civility. That word goes down really easy. Its sound is so smooth, so sibilant, with its soft C start. Even its T at the end is actually a gentle D. And that's exactly why it makes me nervous. Hard problems, excruciating misalignments, can't be so easily resolved. And I'm afraid that embedded in the solve of civility is an expectation of patience. And when I'm urgently working to realign something dangerously misaligned, I don't want anyone trying to placate me with pleas for patience. And I wouldn't want any of you to unthinkingly accept demands for patience. Strategic patience, on your own terms, yes, that's good. But patience demanded of you, if you're working hard for urgent change, think carefully first. Yes, we crucially need to listen to voices that are not our own, but we shouldn't walk into that oral arena assuming that it's a level playing field, because it isn't. And those with power are happy to remind you of the virtues of patience. So be wary, be on your guard. Patience can be a display of grace. But As another poet I really like, Kay Ryan, writes, it can also be, quote, the sport of truly chastened things. But I think you, the graduating class of 2018, know all this already. In fact, I think I've learned it from you. I've learned from watching you for 4 inspiring years, truly inspiring years, how to take the energy from slippage and turn it into heat. Not the bombs of rage and not the balms of patience, but heat. The kind of heat that brings about social change, the kind of heat that creates art, and the kind of heat that leads to love. And speaking of love, class of 2018, I've written you a poem. It's sort of a love poem and sort of a goodbye poem, all wrapped into one. Okay. It's entitled Yesterday Morning. Yesterday morning, not so early, I hear you heading towards the bathroom with a shuffle that sounds not quite like dragging, but holds some resistance nonetheless. You close the bathroom door with a pull in a lift, that damn door. I then hear the other broken noises, the light switch clicking on, sounding all right, but incantating light from only one of the 2 fixtures. The medicine chest misaligned mirror clanging shut with the sound of someone dropping a metal toolbox. The toilet's post-flush hum whine that could be a violin's first note, but isn't. You haven't let us fix the bathroom door's broken hardware because it's part of your childhood, you say. You've known all along that this childhood would one day exist only by craning our necks backwards. You have always been a moving thing among broken noises. Tomorrow you will keep moving and break the things that need to be broken. And I will promise not to fix the door hinge while you're gone. Thank you, class of 2018, for all that you did.
Everybody. So I had this huge speech all written out, but I think it's more important to be spontaneous. Yeah. All right. That's all I had. I have a full other one. All right. Let's see where I was. Okay. Spontaneous. Rip out paper, put on podium. Hey, there we go. So, thank you all for coming out here today to celebrate the graduating class of 2018. All right, guys, we did it. We finally made it. We have reached the end of our grueling journey through the unforgiving years of high school. As the year progressed, overwhelming stress did rear its ugly head around every corner, and many L's were taken. Responsibilities were shirked, tests were failed, and tears were shed. It was hard, but we met the challenges, we made our decisions, and for better or for worse, here we are, standing... Thank you. Standing metaphorically before you at the very brink of the next step in our journey. But before we go any further, I'd like to thank a few people for helping me get here. Thanks to my family sitting all the way across from me. All of the love and support you have given me these years, and also to Laura Rosberg and Will Lay for making my 10 seasons of theater the best days of my life. I'm welcome. So anyway, go on. There are 3 things that I love to see in a speech. 1, movement. 2, taking some risks. And 3, a little bit of audience participation. So, a question. What makes GDS so great? It's not rhetorical. I want to see some hands. Oh, come on. I will. I'll pick on people. I feel like a teacher. You over there, what do you think? That's true, honestly. Yeah, anyone else? No, really? I will pick people. Anyone over here? Anyone got me? Oh, wait. You!
Our football team!
I get it, because we don't have one. So the thing that I heard in common with both of those things was people, right? I guess. Okay, if not, I'm going with it anyway, because I wrote my speech on people, so I can't really, go off that far. Anyway, so yeah, people. I think it's the people. So any business, any school, any organization, it takes its characteristics and its merits from the community it's built upon. So I believe, therefore, that GDS is lucky to have housed this senior grade for 4 years. Now, some people sometimes may disagree with me on that, but I understand we have not always been the easiest grade to deal with, what with our occasional deviations from what is consistent with GDS norms, or allowed. Anyway, I think that our crazy hijinks are important. Where would GDS be without the personality that students provide, huh? I think at that point, GDS would just be a place to learn about triangles and World War II. The community is incredibly important. And so I like to believe that our humble efforts to bring some levity to the halls of GDS has made our beloved school a place where students can look forward to having fun as well as learning. Of course, our jovial nature as a grade does not prevent us from getting serious when we want to. In fact, what has impressed me most about my classmates over these 4 years is the magnitude of their passion and compassion. So let's begin with the first, passion. So the diversity of interests in the senior grade is impressive, but what is inspirational is the amount of time, dedication, and effort I have seen these seniors pour into what they love. Our commitment to sports, theater, academics, clubs, affinity groups, and so much more exemplifies our desire to live life to the fullest. And hopefully that inspires you youngsters in GDS out there to do the same. Within the boundaries of school rules. Some of us want to be mathematicians, some of us want to be musicians, some of us want to go to space, some of us want to run track, and some of us just want to run a dance studio / smoothie bar. I don't judge. All right. But on a more serious note, as we gaze into the murky obscurity of the future, we find that our resolve and our passions may waver. GDS provided an excellent medium for us to explore our interests, but now, as we unfortunately leave this place, we find that some doubts begin to form. Questions such as, are we sure of what we want to do? What if our interests change? Where do we have to draw the line between chasing our dreams and facing reality? Sorry for the dark mood change. These fears have dogged me and many others this year, and I personally would have been dragged down by them if it were not for the best quality of the class of 2018, compassion. So this class's compassion for each other, the community, and the outside world is what I hope we will be remembered for. High school is a crucially formative time for us as we grapple with the concepts of our identity, the uncertainty of the future, and our own personal struggles. And what every person needs is someone to turn to and to trust, and someone who will give you a hug when you're feeling down and say, "You got this, I believe in you." And fortunately for us, we have 125 people just like that right here today. I know, I was gonna write the funny speech, I was trying my best, but I can't help but get a little sentimental when I think about how much love and care these seniors have extended towards each other. The senior grade has provided unanimous acceptance and support of their peers, which is something that I will never, ever take for granted. Between the long moments before we entered the school until we walked onto this stage today, we've experienced many hardships, many setbacks, and many defeats, but we have always had each other to rely upon, and that's very important to me, and I think I'll miss that the most. And as we branch out to new communities, let us never forget our roots here, to the students and staff of GDS, to those who helped us, and to those that we helped. For you guys, sorry, I'm gonna turn my back on you, you're less important for this part. So, for all of you, over my 4 years of GDS, I have been uncertain of who I am and what I wanted to be. Oh, tears, please. And so what I wanted to say to you all is that now I've been inspired by your dedication to doing what you love, and bastioned by the overflowing compassion that has met me every single day that I've walked into the halls of GDS. And it's very painful to say goodbye, but I guess I owe you all a debt that is beyond my capacity to repay. And at this point, all I can say is thank you. Couldn't have done it without you. That said, not all of us are ready to face the future. Those old fears taunt us. The greatest, perhaps, is the question, what if we fail? Now, there is a philosophy that I have taken to heart this year, learned from a wise woman of this grade who has single-handedly kept me from falling apart all year. You probably know who you are. And this philosophy has helped me ease this feel of failure, and I hope it can do the same for you all. It goes as follows. As long as you are chasing your dreams, committing yourself to living your life the way that you want to, and prioritizing doing what makes you happy, you are succeeding. You may take years for you to get exactly where you want to be in life, but stick with it, because you've got your whole life to make it work. Even the edgy nihilist Samuel Beckett has some words to share on the topic. They go, ever tried, ever failed. No matter, try again, fail better. Here's what I take from that. So, no matter what path we all take, we're all gonna hit bumps. Some small failures are going to be inevitable, but they're not permanent. So don't let setbacks kill your dreams. Chase them down, work hard, and then live the hell out of your dreams. For me, please. And now, before I go, I have a few final requests for you seniors. This is where it gets really sappy. All right. Unapologetically live as yourself. Extend a hand to those in need, and don't be afraid to let someone help you, because it just might change your life. Never lose hope. Never lose the flame that makes you shine so brightly and uniquely. And, sometimes we get so busy that we forget to be happy, so always find time to smile. I want to give you all a big hug, but given my wingspan, I think I'll settle for being indescribably proud of how far we have come and how far we will go. When you guys are all famous, don't forget the little guy that stood up here on a footstool. Wishing you all the best. I love each and every one of you. Let's go ahead and get on out there and change the world. I'm back out here. In the meantime, thank you for accompanying me on this emotional roller coaster of a speech. Time flies when you're having fun, and all too soon it is time to say goodbye. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, they changed my life. I am blessed to have known them. The world will be privileged to receive them. I present to you the class of 2018.
To meet you, tell you I'm sorry. Don't know how lovely you are.
I had to find you, tell you I need you, tell you I'll set you apart. Tell me your secrets and ask me your questions. Oh, let's go back to the start. Running in circles, coming up tails, heads are a science apart. Such a shame for
Kevin, parents, faculty, administration, aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, welcome. My name is Kamal Ali, and I'm the father of Jaleel and Soraya Ali. I started GDS around 1973 in the 6th grade, graduating in 1980. Back then, GDS was a little different. The lower school black box was called the Big Room. It was our multi-use space for everything, from the gymnasium where we played our home games to our junior high school graduation. Teachers sometimes brought their dogs to school. Our high school on MacArthur Boulevard had a graduating class of 45 kids. We played our home games at Jealous Boys Club because we did not have a regulation-sized court. We had a sanctioned smoking room used by students and teachers alike. Yes, indeed, things have changed. Class, let's take just a moment to give thanks. Exhale, breathe in the moment, and give thanks for all the gifts you received today. Thanks for life is a gift. Thanks for the gift of people, each other, your families and friends who helped you get here today. Thanks for GDS, because GDS was truly a gift to you. You've grown up here to become the people that you are today. Thanks for you are a gift to the world. Make a difference in it. Thanks for the world, a gift to us all. Enjoy it. I'd like to tell you a story. It's a story of 4 young people who met in high school. They bonded together through activities, formed meaningful friendships through countless conversations, debates, and adventures. They visited each other at universities spanning from New Jersey to California to Vermont. They traveled overseas together and supported each other through grad schools to esteemed professional careers, from medicine to education, entrepreneurship to high finance. They shared their weddings, served as godparents to each other's children, enjoyed their friendships decade after decade after decade. Their wives bonded and became best friends, almost rivaling that of the spouses. They served their high school alma mater in many capacities, from the development committee to the alumni board to managing the endowment committee. 3 of those kids sent their kids, 2 of them each, to the same school they attended, and all 3 served on the board of trustees. They all maintained friendships of those same 40+ years of duration with another 8 or so gentlemen equally successful by many different measures, serving their communities in a variety of forms. Yes, you guessed right, this is my GDS friend group, and the real reason why I love this school so much. What warms my heart even more is that 38 years after our GDS graduation, my daughter Soraya has a friend group just as strong that I predict will be strong another 40 years from now. Soraya, I went to Gladys's 100th birthday. You have to go to Russell's. Sitting here before us today is the future. The next great playwright, the next best-selling author, the next congressman for the people, the next great educator, the next award-winning scientist sits right here before us. Class of 2018, you have greatness within you and great futures ahead of you. As I prepared my comments today, I looked up the word commencement. The definition: a ceremony at which degrees or diplomas are conferred to graduating students, and a beginning, a start, the outset, opening, initiation, or launch. Yes, in a few minutes, you will be conferred diplomas. However, you are now also just beginning, just launching your real journey. As adults, leaving the safety of your parents' homes, traveling near and far, this is a new beginning, the one you've all been waiting for. I can feel the excitement in the room, the anticipation on your faces, the pride of your loved ones, and your parents especially. Just a quick note about your parents, by the way. In your illustrious GDS career, here are a few facts about your parents. And parents, you can let me know if these ring true to you. They logged more miles driving to school, sports practices, play rehearsals, and friends' houses than it takes to go to Mars and back. They spent more money on your tuitions, camps, travel, electronics, and extracurricular activities than the gross national product of some small country. And they've taken enough meds from headaches and stress, from worrying about you, your development, your grades, your health, and your futures, to bump the pharmaceutical industry up 450 points on the stock market. These are facts. Before you leave, I'd like to share with you, as you embark on your journey, a few life lessons to consider on behalf of the parents I represent. Have faith. Live free. Believe positively in a higher being, in life, in yourself, in humanity, in love, and in your purpose. All great endeavors start with faith. Dream big and write down your goals. Don't be afraid to go for it, to take a risk. There's no safe seat on the airplane. Goals must be both realistic and attainable, but break them down into baby steps and you will achieve them one at a time. Learn your craft and make it your passion. Study it, practice it, master it, become an expert at any one thing, and you will be successful. Work hard. Put forth real effort through discipline, consistency, and good habits. Remember, maximum effort yields maximum results. Outwork your competition, and remember, what they call luck is preparation meeting opportunity. Have fun. This is the most important for me. Enjoy yourself at work, at home, at play. You're only going to go through this life once. You may as well enjoy it. Keep a light spirit and a heart. Smile often and laugh much. Be kind and serve others. In serving others, you serve yourself and your world. Good manners, a smile, treating others as you like to be treated may seem elementary, but make a world of difference. Give back by truly caring for and serving those around you. The more you give is the more you get. It is you who will truly benefit from serving others. And take care of yourself. Take time to recharge your battery, to reflect. Keep yourself balanced, healthy, and whole. A good book, a hard workout, a hot bath, a good night's sleep. Only you can take care of you. Be a friend to have a friend. True friends can usually only be counted on one hand, but even one single true friend can make life such much more fun and meaningful. I'm so happy GDS has helped many of you to foster great friendships. Value them and keep them strong. Be a world citizen. Travel, explore America and other countries and cultures. Only through traveling and experiencing other cultures will you open your eyes to a real world view. The world is getting smaller and smaller and is only an airplane ride away. I don't mean to be morbid, but die well. Think of your funeral and listen to that great story of your life. Plan and execute your life accordingly, bucket list and all. Let your grandchildren marvel at the life you've lived when they lay you down to rest. Though I share with you these concepts, I realize that this is a new world, a new age, and a new generation, and that you must make your own path. New technology, new innovation, new science makes your futures vastly different from any previous generation. Go boldly 2018 into it with all your GDS experience, with all the confidence we have in you, with all the confidence you have in yourself, and make us proud. I'll leave you with a quote from one of my favorite authors, Dr. Seuss. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. You are the one who'll decide where to go. Thank you, and help me with the 1, 2, 3 hoppers before I leave. 1, 2, 3, go Hoppers!
Avery Rose Adamitis. Saraya Jamil Ali. Rebecca Rifkin Brown. Ella M. Rockefeller. Isaac G. Rosenblum Sellers. Charles C.R. Ruber. Jack Steele Rudnick. Molly Rose Ruttenberg. Nikki Shreen Salmani. Alexander.
Esteemed guests, great pleasure to present to you the Georgetown Day School class of 2018. So you may have noticed that when the graduates made their way up to receive their diplomas, they also had something that they were delivering. Seeds, different kinds of flowers. And oftentimes what I am delivered is something, piece of a puzzle, rubber bands. I love these seeds, class of 2018, thank you, because lots of metaphors there, right? For the work that you will do, that you will spread out in the world, and the beauty that that will produce. And we are so confident of that. So before you head out to dinners and parties and various celebrations, class of 2018, just take one last minute and look at all of these people who believe so profoundly in your capacity. And as some of the speakers said earlier today, there will be moments of joy and there will be undoubtedly moments that will be really hard. And when you face those moments, I want you to remember, first of all, that you have each other. And second of all, you have all of these people who are here today who care deeply about you and believe in you, because for those of us who have had the privilege of witnessing this graduation today, of course, our work does not end now. This is a peak moment, this is a milestone, and yet we have the privilege of caring for and guiding and supporting and believing in these fabulous young adults for the years and decades to come. And I am going to close with a poem different from Catherine, who can write her own poems. I have to read other people's poems. So this is a poem by Mary Oliver. It is called The Summer Day. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. The one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Class of 2018, may you encounter joy, growth, and blessing in your one wild and precious life. You have our confidence, our support, our love, and our profound hope for the road ahead.